that's an interesting thread to pull on too, because the early church didn't call themselves Christians. Most people know that they called themselves followers of the way. And I certainly, like, to me, and the way it was explained to me is when people said Jesus is the way, that what they really meant was, what that means is that Jesus is the way to heaven. So they followed the way to heaven because obviously, like, who wouldn't want to go to heaven? Don't we all want to go to heaven? Like, that's where we want to go. I think it's only been later in my life that I've come to realize that really is a more modern interpretation of what it means that Jesus is the way and that you would follow the way. That the way is everything about Jesus. It's who he is.
Yes.
It is a path to atonement. But it's also a way to be human. Jesus was the only perfect human, and he was describing the way to be more the way that we were created to be from the beginning, and to live in this kingdom that he was bringing in. And one day we'll know the fullness of that humanity.
Yes.
But when we talk about the way, we can't just slice out this little bit about what happens when we die, and some ethereal place that of heaven. We have to think long-term vision as well into what it really means in the last days when Christ comes again and restores all things. Because it's not even as an ultimate end. Heaven's a short-term kind of a ambiguous thing that we don't fully even understand, but we do know that he will make all things new when he comes again, and then we live, and that's the way. Like, so it's so much bigger, I think, than just
it is
this small notion of the Romans road, a way to heaven, say a prayer, have salvation. Not that we shouldn't evangelize, not that we shouldn't walk people through understanding the amazing, great gift that Jesus
But it's
gave.
the difference between go make converts and go make disciples, right?
Big
like
time.
because,
Right.
and this goes back to what we were talking about yesterday, right? To be a disciple of someone is to be with them, kind of continuously, and to decide to shape your life in a way that reflects how they've shaped theirs, and it's kind of all encompassing, which we're much better at convert kind of approach to life and even ministry, right? But what are the things that are actually shaping how we live our life, the values that we prioritize and allow to become front and center, right? Like what are those things actually, and are they values that we see in the life of Christ, or are they reflective of predominant culture or Western Christianity, right? Which isn't always the same thing.
skewed bias.